The movie begins in a peaceful, quiet house where we see a man named Peter repairing an old radio in the attic. His wife comes into the attic and tells him, "Dinner is ready. Leave it and come down in 15 minutes. Peter nods and gets back to his work as he fixes the radio and plays it. The clock in his house suddenly stops ticking. From inside the radio, he hears a woman's voice telling him to be quiet. Terrified, Peter turns the radio off. When he turns it back on, he sees a woman's shadow standing in the attic. When he turns it back off, the woman disappears. The next time he turns the radio on, the woman comes running towards him and shouts, "Shut up." Terrified, Peter turns the radio off again to check what's going on. Peter turns on the radio once again, and this time the woman turns it off herself. As he walks back in fear, he trips over a toy. There is a noise, and a man's body grabs him by the neck. Peter's wife also comes up to check on him, and then we hear her scream, and the screen goes black. In the next scene, we see Peter's daughter, Emma. She was a very good singer and had come to audition. However, due to her nervousness, she fails to sing a single word and leaves. Returning home, Emma's friend congratulates her on her audition, but Emma sadly tells him that she once again left the audition due to her nervousness. Her friend, Seba, tries to encourage her, and just then, Emma receives a call from her mother. Extremely nervous, Emma returns to her hometown with Seba. Her mother was admitted to the hospital with numerous injuries. Just then, the doctor arrives and asks Emma to meet him alone. He explains that her father had fallen down the stairs, causing a brain injury. A blood clot had formed in his brain. Consequently, his condition was critical. He was admitted to the ICU and had several broken ribs and bones. The doctor also reveals that Emma's mother also had injuries on her body, leading the doctors to believe that her father had tortured her mother, and that during the entire ordeal, Emma's mother had pushed her father down the stairs. Because of this, Emma's mother was also being kept under observation. Emma encourages her mother, saying that her father was doing better. "You should stay in the hospital tonight," she says. "I'll take you home tomorrow." Emma's mom panics at the mention of the house. She tells her not to go home. She also tells her that Peter tried to kill her, but at that time your dad wasn't inside Peter. His soul was possessed by something else. Emma can't understand anything she's saying. Seeing Emma's mom frightened, Seba tells Emma that they should book a hotel, but Emma says, "No, we'll go home. I want to check what's there." Her mom, so nervous, returns home. Emma shows her friend her recording studio, explaining that she's been singing here since childhood, and that it's where she recorded her first song with her dad. She then takes Seba to the attic, her dad's secret place. His hobby was collecting and restoring old things, which he used to do there. Emma becomes extremely emotional watching all this. She tells Seba, "I can't believe Dad could even hit my mom." Seba reassures her, saying, "This is definitely a misunderstanding and will soon be cleared up." With that, he goes downstairs to prepare dinner. The typewriter starts working on its own, and the word "help" appears on it. Panicked, Seba calls Emma, and they see that every food item in their house has gone bad. Emma thought her mother might have bought these items a long time ago. Seba goes to get food, and Emma starts listening to a recording. Suddenly, the recording stops. Time stops as usual, and the house falls into silence. The radio upstairs starts playing, and a voice comes through Emma's headphones. "Be quiet, he's coming." Emma takes off her headphones and hears the radio's voice. Just as she was about to go into the attic and turn it off, a woman's soul turns off the radio, and Emma is terrified, confused. Emma turns on the radio and sees the woman's shadow standing in a room. As soon as she turns it off, the woman disappears. She turns it back on, and this time, seeing the woman approaching her, she turns it off. Frightened, Emma goes downstairs to find Seba calling her. Before she could answer the call, her mobile phone battery dies. Her landline was now working. She is terrified. She remembers the woman's voice. "Don't make a noise, he can hear." So she immediately picks up the landline and puts it aside. As soon as she does this, a man's figure appears before her and grabs her by the throat. Then, in the next second, he releases her, and the spirit closes all the doors and windows in the house. Panicked, Emma tries to open a door, only to see the typewriter start working again, with the words "help" written on it. Emma realizes someone was trying to communicate with her. She restarts the typewriter. Before she could ask any questions, the man's spirit picked up the typewriter and threw it away. Just then, Emma sees the spirits of a woman and a child fleeing. Panicked, she runs upstairs to the attic and tries to open the window. During the process, her foot again hits a toy and the radio turns on. She sees a child's spirit quickly turn it off and run away. To find out what was going on, Emma turns on the radio again. She sees the spirits of the girl and child who are both trying to tell her to turn it off. But before she could do so, The spirit of the man attacks her, knocking her unconscious. As soon as Emma falls unconscious, the woman turns off the radio. As soon as Emma regains consciousness, she panics and goes downstairs, grabs her phone and locks herself in the studio. After charging her phone, she first tries to text Seba, but there's no signal inside. Seba is standing outside the house, calling out loudly to Emma. Frightened, she leaves the studio and tries to call Seba, but she hears Seba's phone ringing from inside. Upon exiting, she sees Seba in the laundry, clutching his head. He had barely entered the house through the back door of the basement, and as soon as he entered, he started having a headache. Emma gestures for him to be quiet, picks him up, and brings him into the room. Writing with a pen and paper, a nervous Emma tells him they can't talk here. "Is anyone here?" she asks Seba. "Did you see anything?" Seba tells her. His answer seems strange to Emma, but she takes him inside the recording studio. When she tries to play the women's voices from her recording, Seba couldn't hear anything. However, Emma could still hear them. This time, there was a second voice in the recording, suggesting that she was there. Hearing this, Emma panics, and as she looks back, Seba has disappeared. When she emerges, Seba is in the living room, swaying strangely in a rocking chair. Behind the same chair, she also sees the woman, who signals her to remain silent and then disappears. When Emma approaches Seba, one of Seba's eyes turns white, indicating that Seba had also been possessed by the man's spirit. Seba begins attacking her, strangling her. Emma frees herself by slamming her leg against his. Terrified, Emma is now under attack. Just as he's about to attack, the radio comes back on, and a girl pushes Emma, causing her to fall, transporting her to another world. This house in the other world is exactly like her own. The girl is actually showing Emma a vision of her old life. Her mother is telling her to be quiet because her father, who didn't like their voices, is due to arrive shortly. He had lost an eye in the war, which made him constantly angry. The man, whom the woman fears, also enters this very scene, but she is so frightened that a plate falls from her hand and breaks. The sound of this angers the man so much that he hits his wife hard as punishment. The girl, who is watching all this, steps back in fear, and the radio, which is currently at Emma's house, drops from her hand. The radio's sound only increases as the man's anger grows. The girl tries to turn off the radio, but the radio wouldn't turn off. In a fit of rage, the man tries to strangle his wife. When his daughter comes to her rescue, her mother is already dead. The child has also been stabbed in the heart. The man holds his daughter's throat, and before dying, he stabs her. Watching all this, Emma begins crying and screaming. Meanwhile, we see Emma emerge from her vision, where the possessed Seba had attacked her. She picks up a toy lying nearby, hits him on the head, and, saving her life, runs back into the studio. When Seba follows her, Emma quickly leaves the studio, locks it, and stands in another room, playing music to torment the soul of the man inside Seba. To protect herself, Emma had once again locked herself in the attic. Before leaving, she had also turned on all the appliances in the house so that their noise would create chaos in the house. Seba, who is extremely fed up with the noise, breaks all the speakers in the studio and comes out of the studio. He even comes inside the attic. Emma is still harassing Seba, and Seba starts having severe headaches. Before the man could let go of Seba's body, the lights go out and the house falls silent once again. Just as the man is about to attack Emma again, the radio automatically turns on, and the voices of his wife and son begin to echo from within. The spirit is so tormented by these voices that he forgets to attack her and sits there, and Emma realizes that this man hated the noise of his daughter and wife more than any other noise in the world. He hated their voices. Meanwhile, the girl and child appear before Emma and grab her hands. They scream so loudly that the man is devastated. Seeing them, Emma also begins to scream with such force that the entire house reverberates and shakes. Finally, exhausted by the noise, the man abandons Seba's body and leaves. As soon as he leaves, the souls of his wife and son vanish. Emma understands that their souls had now returned to their true place, to heaven, where they should have been. Seba had also recovered, and Emma embraces him. A few days pass, and the atmosphere at home improves. Emma's mom and dad also recover and return home, and they enjoy a few days. During this time, Emma's mom tells her, "The person who hit me that day wasn't your dad." Emma reassures her, "I know, I saw it with someone else." With that, she embraces her mom, and a few days later, they both leave. Emma had also thrown away the radio from her house. Another boy picks it up and sells it to an antique shop. This antique shop contains other antiques like this radio. Shortly after, a young woman also comes to visit the antique shop. She takes a picture of a portrait kept there, so the portrait pulls the girl in. The movie ends with the suspense of what happened to her.